There we go, now we're on.
We're on.
Chicken sandwich. Right, and we're on.
Why? Why chicken sandwich?
I don't know, that's just why it was.
Is that what you're fancying?
No, I'm not a fan of chicken sandwich.
I don't like cold
What have you
chicken.
put it in our podcast for
No,
then?
what?
What have you put it in the podcast for then?
Just then it starts and then he knows.
Sound check, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sandwich check.
Well,
Better than
yeah,
1, 2, 3.
Checking
I'd
all
like
your pops and your chicks and your
chicken sandwich.
Mm.
And you literally look like you were glitching then.
Well,
I do, don't I?
well, yeah.
I've got my loading bar on there now.
There's going to be a lot of talking about glitching today, isn't there? A lot of glitching.
Glitching.
Yeah.
But no, I don't like cold chicken. It's not right.
No, I mean, I like cold chicken on its own, just to pick at, but I'm not a fan in a sandwich.
Not a fan overall.
I like a cold chicken leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chicken not have something to say about that.
It probably did, yeah.
Hot, cold.
Fuck
I like chicken.
off.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so
Anyway.
how's everyone's week?
It's a particularly rambly start even for us.
Well, you know, you're on about rambling, so we carried on doing it.
Yeah.
So, how's everyone's week?
Yeah, it's been good so far.
Busy.
Busy.
Yeah, good.
You're off now, so
You know. Wish I could work part time.
I know. I mean, I do.
From you.
Do you mean from
You've
me?
got the cheek to tell anybody.
From me.
Swan off whenever you like.
Do my hours. I earn my
You-
money.
He
Swan
shuts
off whenever
Manchester
you
down
fancy.
regularly.
Oh.
We know.
I mean, I'm not
Mr.
sweating. don't get
Flexi
me
time.
wrong. You get flex because I work extra.
Uh-huh.
That's how you earn flex, by working extra.
We don't see much of this extra, do we?
No.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Uh-huh.
You don't work at my house.
It's true.
True. Unless you've got an access to his ringer doorbell thing that he
Access
has.
to him telling us when he swans off.
Yeah, but I don't tell you when I've done every little bit of overtime.
No,
Even
you're
today.
pretty fucking smug about when you go swanning off, Nicholas.
Oh, yeah, of course, everybody is.
Yeah.
Even today I got called out at 2:30 in the afternoon.
Rude.
Road collapse.
Well, that's
What?
pretty.
Proper, like, falling through.
They like doing that in
Sinkhole.
Manchester, don't they? They like a good. What is it called?
A good sinkhole.
A good sunk hole.
Oh, you don't have to call them sinkholes, it's a road collapse.
Why? Why can't you? Why?
Because
It's not
it
technically a
instills
sink.
panic.
Yeah.
Because everybody thinks that their houses are going to sink.
Well, they might be.
But it was down near airport, so I had to go and have a gander at it.
That's a good job. You fly around that airport, isn't it?
That's it.
Don't need to worry about sinking roads.
No.
No.
Concorde might have landed in it.
It might. Yeah, it could have done.
But it's alright, I fixed it and I still got to practice on time.
You fixed
Because I'm
it?
that damn good.
You fix it.
No, I didn't fix it.
I was going to say.
I gave approval for other people to fix it, is what I did.
Yeah, there we go.
What by going?
See?
Yep, you can fix that.
Oh,
What
yeah.
happens if you said no?
Flexi time with the info.
Well, I
too,
was
huh?
actually going down there with the intent to say no, because what they wanted to do was actually close a road junction. But where it was the access road to a bit of a housing estate, so if they'd have shut that, there'd have been loads
See,
of people.
if I had
who
your
wouldn't
job,
get
I'd just say no forever, and then that's the hole's there forever.
Hmm.
And it could be a tourist attraction.
How big a hole?
Yeah, I'll be.
Well, it was only about that on the surface.
Fucking hell.
Apparently underneath it was a good few metres wide.
Not being
Really?
funny, but if you know some of the roads we've got in Lancaster,
To be fair.
yeah,
And you can see the dip in the tarmac.
dipping
Wow.
the tarmac, right. Where does it take you to? China?
I didn't jump in and find out, Dave.
Well, it
I've
might
got band
be,
practice, I'm not taking that
If it's
risk.
not that deep, it might just go to like Liverpool or somewhere.
There ain't nobody got time for that.
no. Well, if you went to China, it'd be cheaper than flying. Just jump down, and you're there.
Smart a little bit more.
Cool.
but-
Hell of a walk too, Dave. to be fair.
You're not walking there. You're falling.
Yeah, but what when I get home? I'm not climbing home from China.
I don't know. Watch Cliffhanger. It'll give you an idea of what to do.
I'm not staying in China.
No. Why not?
'Cause
He'd be
I don't
late, but
want
he hasn't
to.
got that much flexi time.
Too far from home.
Alright. No wrong with China, I don't think.
I didn't say there was out wrong with China, I just said I didn't want to live there.
Alright then. Well,
I don't know any words.
I'll get my son round, he'll tell you, he knows all Mandarin and that.
Yeah.
Ni
Little-
hao.
Little oranges.
Yeah, just the...
Satsumas in your mandarins.
Yeah, mandarins, yeah. I thought mandarin was an instrument, wasn't it?
It's a mandolin.
Oh, right. Same thing, isn't it?
Also, something in cookery that you
Cut your fingers off
cut
with.
your fingers on. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Is that a mandolin? Isn't it?
I don't know, I thought
think
it was a
it is,
cheese
yeah, it
grater.
is. Yeah. I also think it's the name of a female country and western singer. A mandolin.
A mandolin, yeah. Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be.
Too tired for this shit.
Like those things you also have in kitchens that are like strainers.
Colanders. Sieves.
Yeah. Sorry. I
Yeah.
forgot,
Yeah,
got
sorry.
a memory like a
Colander.
goldfish.
See, you're too tired for this shit too.
Well, what are we talking about?
Shit!
China Day.
Kitchens.
China. Yeah.
I
You're
speak
gonna
of
be all
kitchens, how's
jealous.
yours coming on? Have you got
Sinkhole.
one yet?
I'm looking forward to
Matty
it.
doesn't have a kitchen
I
right
don't.
now, and he hasn't all year.
Oh, excuse me. No, that was my chair. Listen. Oh, shit, it's not doing it anymore. My chair.
Right. Have
No,
you
I
got a
still
kitchen?
don't have a kitchen.
No. Have you ordered any bits or?
Yeah,
parts?
yeah.
Right. And
few
are they
mobs.
coming from China?
No, they're coming from.
Nick knows a shortcut.
That's why holes opened up.
Jamie and Magic Torch. No, I think they're coming from Westgate.
Westgate. Well, they've got their own sinkholes
It
around
shouldn't
there.
have taken 7 months, should it?
I
No.
think
They're walking it round.
I think they've lost the sat nav.
It's all piled at the bottom of your hill. Come get it.
Yeah, that's it. Going up there. Bugger to that.
And Matty lives on a hill.
Like up a hill.
Yeah.
Not on a hill, but yeah, on a hill.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a castle at the top.
Yeah,
So have they
That's
given you?
terrible.
Have they given you an ETA? Like, have you any idea when you're actually going to have?
Yeah, I think 3-4 weeks. From Christmas.
It's getting there, Matthew.
It is
You'll
getting there,
appreciate
yeah.
it once.
Yeah.
it's in.
He won't know how to
I
use
was
the
going to say,
fucking
you won't know
thing.
what to do with it.
I'm gonna-
Cupboards and
I'm
utilities and
gonna have a kitchen warming party. I was gonna leave my oven on all week.
dancing around.
Shall we all come round so you can cook us some pizzas?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
burn
Why am
a
I
pizza
getting
for anyone.
punished?
'Cause
It's all brand spanking new.
Yeah, but you're not.
You kitchen, you me.
He put himself through his own washing machine.
That's it, yeah.
yeah, you've got a washing machine though, have you?
I have got a washing
Are
machine.
you going to
yeah.
get a new one?
No, because I've got one.
But it won't match with the kitchen.
He's
Yeah, I'm
crazy.
bothered about that.
He's right there.
I was thinking of getting a new fridge freezer, but I want a freezer that's bigger than the fridge. Because I've
A
got more
freezer
use
fridge.
for it. I want like a 40-60 in the freezer's favour.
Why?
Because I freeze
more air
more than
fryer.
I fridge more.
Right. Yeah.
I freeze
Right,
more than I
nothing.
fridge.
I don't know.
I have
Just get a
I have
butcher's
some
one.
celery and a lettuce, a couple of tomatoes in the salad crisper.
What do you have with celery?
Tomatoes and lettuce, apparently.
Yeah,
You have celery.
pint of milk,
Right. Yeah, milk. That's
Um,
good.
Is that you? For
half a
fresh?
jar of dolmio. But I freeze a load of stuff.
Yeah. Kippers.
I'm not an animal.
We.
You don't freeze kippers.
Oh no, you just put them in a madras, don't you?
Yeah.
Keep a madras.
Nothing wrong with it.
Can't think of anything
it's,
ranker.
It's making use of leftovers.
But they're only leftovers if you buy them in the first place.
I'm going through bins and my leftovers. That's what
I
I'm
don't know.
going on.
You have quite a lot of skips on your street.
I do.
Yeah. They might.
I do.
You might be.
They're not full of
Sometimes it's easier than walking.
Yeah.
good exercise.
Yeah, just skipping
Well,
uphill.
that's
That's
it. Yeah.
you want to
Get
be
the
careful
rope.
going uphill. Right, mind you want to be careful
Or
skipping
going downhill,
downhill.
yeah.
Skipping downhill, that rope gets
Skipping
tangled
anywhere
down.
other than a
you
flat
lose
is
your-
pretty dangerous territory.
That's me getting a new grill.
Well, that'll come with your new oven.
It will, won't it? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No. Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to
That's
the
it, yeah.
That's
podcast.
the
Don't
Matty
forget,
bashing session.
like,
Done.
subscribe, notifications, so you don't miss out on this insightful conversation.
It's going to be now. We're getting into the nitty gritty, aren't we?
With the series.
Yeah, it's a hot topic. Hot topic now.
Well, that's it. So you wouldn't get this kind of top-class banter with an AI musician, would you?
No, you wouldn't. Well, this is it.
Yeah.
You know what?
I don't know. I reckon that like some AI could just churn out some random shit that doesn't make sense.
Well, it
as
does.
well.
I've tested it.
Is that where you get your ideas from, Dave?
Some of them, but yeah, they come up with the idea. I don't. Yeah, but yeah, AI, IO.
You
Yeah,
go.
AI.
Off to where we go.
Yeah, just basically, like the musician Sting was on
Yeah.
BBC Breakfast, and he was talking, obviously, about his award or whatever he's getting in there. But the conversation naturally would progress to, what do you think of these AI songs or
Mhm.
collaborations, kind of where they blend songs together? Well, not songs, but they blend, say, like the one I listened to was Fields of Gold by Sting, but sung by John Lennon. And AI did it all. So they put John Lennon's voice,
Right, okay.
not over the top, they put John Lennon's voice, but also
Like,
they
took his
changed the
voice and formed
music.
it to-
Yeah, but they changed the music to almost a John Lennon style as well.
All right.
Because you can go into AI now and say, I want a guitar solo written in the style of Slash, but with more of a thrash influence, and it'll come up with some shite. And it will actually tell you how to play it. And I don't know if it works, but that's what it says. But also, musicians now, I say musicians loosely on here, which is going to be controversial, but it's true. Like rap artists, instead of sampling stuff, they'll just go Mr. AI or Mrs. AI. Or
The AI.
Or
MC
they AI. Them
MC
AI.
AI.
That
Getting a bit tricky
AI.
to say that one, isn't it?
Yeah. Write me a track,
Mhm.
and just put a few words in there to describe what sort of track you want, and it'll come up. So,
In all fairness, though,
They weren't writing their own anyway. Is that
yeah,
where you're
rap
going?
artists have
No,
been
but
doing
they
that
would
to
come
real
on-
people that getting and claiming all the credit and taking all the plaudits
Yeah.
and the awards for years anyway.
no, but they
But
would.
somebody would.
But they would have a beat of some kind, and not all
No.
songs are just samples. So obviously some.
No, but
some
they
of
would
them-
they would go to a musician and tell them
Yeah.
what they wanted, and they would create it. So they'd be buying it from talent rather
Yeah.
than paying for an app to do it.
But
So which I
also-
suppose, whoever's created the app, then we see. I don't know.
But where does it end? Because I was saying this to Matthew actually on the before, saying about plagiarism.
Told you to keep this conversation for the podcast.
Yeah, but it spared this one.
You've used it all, haven't you?
No, I'm using it now because if I didn't
No, tell
have
them
this
then.
conversation,
To be fair, I can't remember what we talked about.
plagiarising. Because
Yes.
AI, you can just go AI wrote it. That AI,
Yeah.
I
I just asked for something. That's what it came up
that's
with.
what it came up with AI. That's
Yeah.
it. And bringing Freddie Mercury back from dead. That's what they've done. And John Lennon, he's dead as well, isn't he?
He is.
Yes.
But he's not now because he sang Fields of Gold. I saw it.
Bloody
It was
hell.
uploaded a couple of months ago on
You
YouTube.
get him singing on a Sting song.
That's it. Elvis will be back soon. Never ends.
Yeah. I think that's just a
He's not even
gimmick.
dead.
You think it's a gimmick?
Gimmick that.
Do you not think that this is going to hurt, basically it's like a lazy way of writing music though now?
No, I don't.
Do you
I-
actually think musicians
Well,
will
you've got
dedicate?
not only that, especially in metal, we've been ripping off pop songs and making them metal for years anyway.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
we've been doing that for ages.
Yeah, but it's our own. We've done it. Not.
Yeah.
We've sat down, studied the song,
But
and then put in our own versions.
I think music is different. What this will harm are the unknown musicians. You know, nobody. You know,
Us.
no, not for that, but
I know.
this isn't going to impact the likes of Elton John, Metallica,
Nothing will
Coldplay,
hurt
people
them.
like that,
No.
because half of music is going and watching the band live.
Mm.
Now, the likes of your dance music and electronic music have been around for years anyway,
Mm.
and you've still got
Yeah, I
enough
know what you
live
mean.
music.
Stuff like that will be like quite impactful on like, TikTok, Instagram, like the
This-
short videos that
what
people
this will
click through
ruin
for hours.
Is the
Not
music that you
for
don't
buying.
hear. So, like when you're watching a film, and there's never
saw-
silence in a film.
Yeah.
There's always a little bit of music in the background.
Apart from
When you-
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, that's why I love it so much.
You know, your elevator music, your advert jingles, your
Like that kind of thing.
anywhere
I
you
was-
go, and there's just
I was planning on making a living just making
Yeah.
advert jingles.
well, there are people that make a living doing that, but at the same time,
Smell cat.
I think it's been in a decline anyway.
Mm.
I remember chatting to my brother when he was doing that music production course, and they had to stop the course because they got no takers for it, because people think music, selling #1 singles or
Mm.
packing out stadiums, and yeah, that's what we all aspire to achieve. But the music's everywhere. It's in your video games. It's on because it's on the radio, but it's on your jingles on the radio. It's on your little cuts. It's in the background of TV shows. It's the background of movies, and even your big movie score writers, your John Williams and your Hans Zimmer. They don't write all the music for the film, right? The big ones, and you've still got those other bits of music in there.
Nuances underneath it, yeah.
It's those guys and girls, or theys, that are doing those jobs
Mm.
that might suffer from this.
Mm.
Because if you're a filmmaker and you just want a bit of music in there, done.
Yeah. You can just articulate it
Yeah,
and get what you want.
Mm.
I think for your charting music,
It's actually more likely to affect the people that do that research and go looking for those
yeah. I mean,
songs that are going to fit what they want rather
Yeah.
than be able to type it in and AI will find it for you.
yeah.
Because at the minute that must be people's jobs. People must.
And the problem you'll get with AI is you will never get exactly what you want.
Mm.
Because especially if you're not musical, but if you are musical, why would you be using AI? But if you're not musical, you wouldn't know how to tell the computer exactly what you want.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there'd always be a bit of wiggle room.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So you'd always have to input whatever keywords and hope that it gives you back.
Mhm.
I guess it gives people a chance who aren't musical to have an opportunity to
Well, this is the thing. I
come
mean,
up with something, boys.
if you're a
Just learn an instrument.
if you're an indie filmmaker working on a budget, you don't got no musician mates
No,
and can't afford to pay for a studio and musicians to come and
do that. Yeah.
score your film. They'll use it, but it's I'm not going to say it's going to be the same as in the art world. But every artist has its characteristic.
Mm.
And if you want a certain something, you'd know which artist to go to. Same with music, you want a certain band or putting on a certain gig, you know which bands to go to listen to that.
Mm.
So I still think there's room for real musicians. Isn't going to kill real musicians. The same
Well, the
as
thing
AI
is,
art
it's-
isn't going to kill.
Artists.
Yeah, it's just.
Well, it's
it
a
will-
human emotion, isn't it? Really, at
is.
the end of it, I guess things that are factual, it will
Yeah.
damage.
I mean,
Like,
these
you
people
know.
that make the bland artwork that goes on the wall in a restaurant, they may have suffered through AI art because people just go be a restaurant art and stick it on my wall, not have to pay nobody. Whereas, I don't know any famous artists at the minute, but I'm sure there's some that aren't going to be affected by it.
Mm. Yeah, there's always going to be people interested in that. I think also a lot of people have already got the backup against AI because of the threat it could potentially cause in not in every industry, in the workforce and everything. I think people will have that. It's just alarming how quickly this has just appeared.
Yeah.
Because it has. I've never fathomed that you could ask a computer to write a song. and it would just do it
Mhm.
without any
Yeah, the
input.
technology has advanced very, very quickly from.
Yeah, it's your specifics because you could always. I remember on
Well, no, on
Play-
GarageBand
yeah,
and
Gary's
stuff.
band, and I mean I thought it was mind blowing, but I remember back. Oof, I must have been 15. There was actually a music creator game on the PS1,
Mm.
and it just had like 4 or 5 different drum samples and bassline samples, and you could write your own, and it could stick it together itself to make something.
Mm.
It's just, when you're talking about being able to make Fields of Gold sung by John Lennon, you're like, wow. But that's a gimmick.
Mm.
Nobody's going to start releasing songs sung by John Lennon because nobody's going to buy it because they all know it wasn't written by him.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. But
Mm.
well, people don't buy music much anyway.
Yeah,
But it's just just go on YouTube.
Yeah,
and
but if
do
it's
that.
John Lennon today, it's somebody else tomorrow, then Terminator the next day.
Yeah, I think
but
Terminator's
unless you're going to
coming.
start releasing songs by people that are still alive, but even though they didn't do it, which
Well, I guess people are just fascinated because it's a new thing, but it's still, it is something that I didn't expect to happen so quickly and so accessible. But then again, it moves on to other things though as well. Like the other topic that we're going to move on to is using backing tracks or laptop aids for live show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean
Right.
that's a bit of a different kettle of fish
Mm.
altogether.
But could you ask AI to just have the backing track to something and then they use it live, or I don't know,
You could, because you could play any music live and just play
because
along
it just
to
makes it easy and
Like a Motley Crue.
accessible. Right? Well, yeah,
Oh,
The th-
yeah.
So anybody can play along to music. Look at Motley Crue.
well,
Yeah.
my opinion on that is if you can't do it anymore, just stop.
Yeah.
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 Call it a day, or adapt and just change the style of what you do. There's a lot of artists that they turn to something more appropriate for of their age or whatever the case is, or ability. There's plenty of artists that just change with that. But with Motley Crue, they're still acting like they're in the 80s, but they're half dead.
They are in their 80s.
Right.
Well, I know. But,
But I don't think this is as quickly come round as you think, though, do you think? I ended up watching a programme the other day, and it was Butch Vig talking about working on the Nevermind album because he was a producer, and he was on about getting the tape and having to get a knife and cut tape and splice tape together to mix albums. How long's home studioing been going on now?
Yeah.
We've done it before. When we started, you had to go into a studio.
Yeah.
And now it's all digital. Do it at home. I could do it in my house.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
that's
if you cocked up,
been
you started
progressed.
again.
Yeah, but that
Made a
isn't.
mistake, you go back to the start and go again.
And that's not recent. That's
Yeah. I mean, as a
15
drummer,
years
though,
away,
how do you
yeah.
feel about that? Because I think out of any musician, it's the drums that's really taken over. Like the MIDI samples and stuff like that a lot of bands use rather
Certainly
than
most
playing
talked about, isn't it?
Yeah. No, how do you feel like that? Because I must admit, if I knew that a band programmed bass into a song, it's just like, well, just play it. It's just easy.
Yeah, I always
Is it a cost? Well, it
always
obviously a cost.
prefer
thing, but-
listening to a drummer.
Can you tell the difference?
I
Do you think?
wouldn't know really. If I listen to something, I don't always know if it's a drummer or it's been
Yeah, because
programmed.
the one that sticks out for me is all the fuss that when Fear Factory they released it's not the recent album, it's the one before that.
it was actually the one before that.
It might have, yeah, you might be right. And apparently it was all programmed drums. But I've got to admit, I'm probably one of them. I didn't notice. I was just like, yeah, it's just Fear
It
Factory,
depends
innit?
on the drummer's sound in the first place, doesn't it? If they've already got quite a...
Well, they've gone through drummers like I've gone through Hot Dinners.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of production, if it's produced to sound quite mechanised already.
Which is supposed to be. That's
Well,
what Fear
that's it,
Factory
yeah.
is.
Yeah, I
Even
mean,
Levy,
and
the
a lot of
learning
bands
scared
are like
that.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and depending on the style of music, a lot of bands go for that sound anyway. You know, it's not, especially in metal, it's not so much of a boomy acoustic sound that a lot of bands are going for. They want it tighter.
Well, they go that snap
Yeah.
sound, didn't
Yeah.
they?
because they're playing
Everything's
so quickly that
Yeah.
if there's any sort of resonance there, it
lingering.
blurs
It's-
together.
yeah,
so
of
it needs to
course.
be sharp and snappy, so you can pick up on all the
Mm.
nuances.
Mm.
So when it's like that, it's harder to tell if it's done well.
Mm.
But again, I think
It's the
drums
same as everything else.
go
if
back
it's
to
not
the
done well.
80s.
Mm.
There was all electronic drums in the 80s,
Yeah.
especially in pop music.
No pop music, yeah.
Drums played on a keyboard.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
that's
it in
what
the
it
air
is,
tonight.
yeah.
Drum, you can do that on a drum pad on a keyboard.
Was it played on the keyboard originally? Do you know?
Very much, but do your drum samplers and your drum machines and stuff like that.
Mm.
Especially again, electronic music in the 80s is when it went big, wasn't it? And it
Mm.
was predominantly electronic because the drums were electronic.
Yeah. I mean, how would you feel, Matty, if we did the next album just
Just give me a
MIDI?
keyboard instead.
Just
It'd be a lot
MIDI?
easier to move around in that fucking thing.
Yeah,
that's for
it
sure.
would be, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Shall we just MIDI? Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
We'll just MIDI. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get you one of those keyboards that you can wear around your neck. No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
could go swanning
Not like
around
a-
the stage and
What, a
do
One of them
guitar?
ties.
Guitar.
A
Yeah,
guitar.
I'll do that.
Play drums on a guitar.
I don't know. I think it'll be better to have the ones like in the ones like in Big.
Oh, dancing.
Dancing
dancing.
ones,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that would suit
Oh,
you.
Play
yeah,
our
yeah.
songs doing
Yeah.
that.
Although
Oh,
I
I
try
bet,
sticking
bet
back.
that'll slow you.
Boot
bet,
car.
It'd be
bet that'll
like
slow you down.
Looked like he was having a fucking fit.
You have to put it on
Trying to
roof
play all the
rack.
different bits at the same time.
Matty's huge light up piano sticking out at the boot.
Yeah, I'll do that then.
Guitar's small and give him one of them.
Next
Fisher
album
Price
will
one.
will be electric drums then. We'll MIDI it.
Yeah, ZZ Top did an album with electric drums. I think.
Wasn't that because Matey Boy was on heroin though?
Well,
He was nearly
probably.
died. You're not on heroin, are you, Matthew?
Not yet.
No, you don't look quite
Sticking
there
the-
yet.
I've got a bottle of water over there, but
Yeah.
nothing's mate.
Alright.
I don't
Stick
think
there.
just because you leave it every week, I don't think it's going to grow any.
It says it's
Oh.
still water on the label.
It's still water.
It is.
Is that why you make that shit joke every week?
Yeah. Play the long game.
Okay.
Long game, yeah.
But no, I do. I think electronic music's been around for decades now, and it's already got its own genre. You know, dance music and
Yeah.
all that kind of techno and whatever. It's all. Right, it's a person making it and putting it together rather than a computer making it all by itself.
Mm.
But it's essentially going to be the same thing. And then you've got your gimmicks of making one artist sing another artist's songs.
Yeah.
Who cares? Who wants to hear John Lennon singing Fields of Gold?
I don't
Nobody's
know,
ever sat
basically.
there listening to Fields of Gold thinking, you know, this needs
John Lennon.
a bit of John Lennon.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I don't know.
And
I
nobody's
think,
ever sat listening to the Beatles going, bet he'd do a cracking Fields of Gold.
yeah.
No,
I don't
it's
know.
a
I
gimmick,
would
it's-
love to see like Elvis do a Sweet Child of Mine though.
I'd love to see Axel doing a fucking Elvis song.
Gonna keep them all down late, yeah.
Is he French?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, could be.
Yeah, it's a gimmick. It's just, so I would more be worried about your people who make music that people take for granted. That's who this could affect.
Mm.
Because
Yeah, because you don't have
Put
to
them
be a
out of a job.
musician to get whatever
No.
thing you need.
oh,
this.
same as like you were saying with your rap music, you know, your 15 producers and 16 songwriters that Beyonce has,
Aye.
they might be out of work.
Can you imagine that? Writing music with 16 people on a 3-minute song. It'd just be chaos.
Would be, yeah.
It's bad enough writing 4-minute music with you three fuckers.
It is.
You keep coming up with different ideas and shit.
I know. But imagine tripling that.
God. What? 3 me's?
Yeah. Fucking
Buy
hell.
more sticks.
Yeah. And more drum bits.
Oh.
Oh.
Nah.
No. Certainly not. No. Definitely not. Not on equipment. that drum kit is the oldest thing in this building, including the building.
No, I think I am.
You know, it's even little bits, you know, I like to listen to my audio books and there's a little jingle between some chapters.
Yeah.
A bloke had to write that.
Like a door opening.
No, I don't listen to them ones.
Oh,
No.
You do get audio books like that though.
Yeah.
I can't think of what they're called now.
I don't know. He walked through the door.
No, you do. You get some full adaptations where it's different people actually doing it.
It was very windy outside.
Foley artists.
Well, yeah.
Mick Foley
They,
artist.
right, something like
Foley's God.
a multi-million dollar blockbuster, say The Matrix or something, just
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
it modern.
That's it, yeah.
They spend millions on
They're
special
30 years
effects, and the sound is like a couple of guys, like treading in a sandbox or rattling keys when a gun gets cocked.
Yeah, but see, they'll be all right. Because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
wouldn't be
yeah.
able. This is what I'm saying with some parts of it. So as your Foley artist, you've got to line that sound up with a specific movement or an action or activity that's
Yeah.
happening on the screen. A computer wouldn't be able to,
No.
because a bit like with music with your click tracks. If there's somebody walking down the street and you wanted some noises to then mimic that, you'd have to make them basically walk to a click track
Yeah.
so that the computer.
Would do it in
Matches
time, yeah. Whereas you could just get a man with a couple of coconuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in Monty Python.
All right. Yeah. The horse.
Yeah, the horse or people walking, I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my original point was on the audiobooks, between certain chapters there's a little jingle. Well, the maker of that audiobook wouldn't need to pay somebody to make that music and for that music anymore.
Right.
So they're the people that will
No.
suffer from
The
it.
little people.
The little
It is, and it
people.
is always.
It is.
It's always the little
It's
people.
always, it
It's
starts
your-
from the bottom, doesn't it?
It's your unnamed heroes, quite frankly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
Like
happened.
bass players.
Well, I mean, you've got to look at art and photography over the last few years. It's been the same thing. Because it's so easy to get your hands on certain technologies now that you don't need to be a great photographer to take a good photo anymore.
No.
Because you do a load of presets, press bang, put it through Photoshop, change it anyway,
Yeah, change it anyway, yeah.
and go from there. Whereas back in the day it was camera, film, develop, cut and paste.
Well, you had to get the lighting right in the shot rather than
Absolutely.
make it up afterwards.
You know, I mean, those guys have been feeling that hit for, I don't know how long Photoshop's been out and digital cameras. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a
And
great
more-
photographer on my phone, yeah.
Well, I see something on your
Best.
bloody phone these days. But the more digital and the more user-friendly these programs become, the more open to the public they are, and the more everybody thinks they're a photographer. Everybody thinks
That's
they're
what
an
I mean.
artist.
I can take a picture and delete you all.
Yeah.
And just have me there.
That's a bit rude.
It is, but I can do it.
Oh, good luck playing all 4 instruments all at the same time then, Dave.
Well, I do.
Octopus mouth.
It's no, it's not that way with music now, because again, with music, it's been happening for years. Get a keyboard, press demo button, bang a couple of notes over the top of
I
it,
love, yeah, good demo.
bit of bossa nova.
Bossa nova.
Bossa nova, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. That's basically what music lesson was for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recorder, usually.
What about bands that use laptops and then they don't work and then they have to cancel a whole show? What about that then?
The thing is, when you
Could that not be
yeah.
the same with any instrument though?
No,
Like if
because
you-
if my
Well,
instrument
what
was
if you rely on
broken,
your bass player and he decides to chuck himself backwards over a drum kit mid-set?
Or leave,
and I got back up and played,
or leave his bass
but
on the sound.
would a
Rebooted
laptop
it.
do that? No, laptop didn't do that, did it? No, laptop's broken. I was broken, but I got myself back
You
up,
did,
fixed
yeah.
it, didn't even know it happened,
Plugged
and
yourself
played
back
like
in.
nothing happened.
Rebooted him.
I played all the notes right.
That's it.
I don't think I even missed a note because it was at the end of the song.
And
if I
when we'd
remember
finished,
rightly.
we still had you guaranteed. We sent you back to Tandy
Andy,
to
yeah.
get a refurbishment, and
Well,
you
this is
came
what
back.
I mean.
Yeah.
But and I worked. I still worked.
You did.
Yeah.
But a laptop
Took a
didn't.
licking.
If a laptop
kept on
broke, you'd be all fucked, wouldn't you?
Ticking.
I didn't lick him. Did you lick him when he went past?
I didn't.
No, you're right though.
Not fast enough.
When you rely on technology, you're
But yeah, the more
You're placing your
you've
gig
got,
in something else's hands.
Yeah, can you imagine, like, well, even the gigs that we have seen where, like, bands rely on a backing track or something and it goes tits up, it's fucked. And then they're like, oh, what's panic stations?
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, you can rely on me collapsing and nearly dying and get back up and continue like nothing happened.
Yeah.
I'm
I
reliable.
think it's the
There,
same
haven't
as
we?
with any vital piece of equipment.
You adapt
if
though,
it's-
whereas with a laptop, if it's fucked, then and that's where all your files are saved,
you
you are
could say the
fucked.
same of guitarists with effects pedals. If their effects
Nah,
pedal
if
goes,
he's pedal bro, he'll just put a gain and we'll just.
Well,
make
that's
do.
it. I've got contingency plans.
yeah,
Exactly.
Because I've seen it
that's
happen.
the crux of it, isn't
in
it?
Belt and
other
So
times.
the
braces.
more
Belt and
technological you
braces.
go, or the more factors you put into your show, the more that can go wrong. Therefore, you need contingency plans. Is the crux of it. If
I
you're just
mean-
playing an acoustic guitar, it makes it very simple, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
we've all
The more
before.
complex it gets.
We've all made mistakes that the other three have covered
Yeah.
and ridden along with, and
Yeah.
you hide it within your set because we know the songs and we know each other and we know how to change it. But you're right, with a laptop or a backing track to a click track,
You're relying
can't.
on something that's musically not. It's
not listening. It's not.
It's not. It don't respond apart from play and stop. Basically.
Yeah. You can't make eye contact.
Yeah. It's
Same
just
It
like
doesn't.
as-
It doesn't panic.
That's exactly the same as him.
yeah, but he's more comical.
Doesn't
about
make
it
eye
'cause,
contact. It starts. It stops.
He shouts through it though a lot and chucks sticks at me.
Well, sometimes you need that though.
Yeah. You don't get
Laptop
that with a
don't do
laptop.
it. No, you
That's-
don't.
That's
You
sort
don't
of
get the
bonding you
swearing.
get between rhythm
You don't get
sections.
the. You
Yeah.
don't get the.
Normally I'm just chasing his lead.
Stern looks
Yeah.
and sweat.
It's just that if I was a fan of a band that pulled out of a gig because a laptop broke down, I'd be like, look, just fucking play without. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
It
Might
not
even be better. It might not be, but if you're that reliant, then is it live music?
Well, again,
Is it, or is it press play?
been happening years. Is it Godflesh?
Yeah.
Missed out on a tour because the drum machine broke.
Yeah. Well, they went out and bought a new one.
I mean, traditionally, you know the bands that are doing that, so you should know what you're getting.
But I'm thinking more and more bands are doing that. I'm
yeah.
not just talking in
No,
our
no.
genre.
I know.
I'm just talking
Particularly in our genre, I think.
But is that? Do you not think that's also due to the drummer drought?
I don't know.
I actually
Is there a
think it's
drummer
more
drought?
that
I
people-
guess there is around here. I
People are
suppose. I don't know.
expecting bigger and more from smaller and smaller bands. They're expecting massive shows from local bands now. So that sound, that wall of sound, that perfect sound, that album sound that these guys are spending thousands and thousands of pounds to produce in a studio with all these layers and everything, people are expecting to hear that now from whatever band round the corner because
Well, and
everything is
following from what you were saying,
there.
you can do that in the studio now. You know, if you could put all the orchestral music behind your song in the studio, and don't do it live, you're not going to feel like you're getting the same record, are you?
Yeah, exactly. So the expectation then leads to
Yeah, I don't know. I think you've got to also be realistic at what you can produce. But then again,
absolutely. And some people, they know what they're doing and they do a very good job of it and they incorporate it into their set and they're very technological and it's all singing and dancing UFOs behind them and everything.
I want UFOs behind us.
Those basic bitches, it ain't going to work for.
No.
No, we've just got a bovril near Matty.
I
technical
thought you were
as
just
we
talking
can
about Matty.
Start calling him Bob.
Bovril at
Yeah,
the back.
Bovril Lee.
Old Bobby.
Bobby. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Bit
I
like a
know what
joke.
I mean,
you're
I'd like-
saying, but
I wouldn't know where to start with any of it. You know, I'm not saying I'm technophobe or anything like that. I know how to use computers and things, but when it comes to properly high-tech stuff, I wouldn't have a clue where to start.
no.
And
No,
so-
but that's because that's not
And I don't
our
have a-
music.
It's not
the
what
music we
and-
listen
and
to.
that's the
it's
other thing
a-
is I don't have any interest in it, so I won't learn it because I'm not interested in it.
No.
So it's not something we want to use. So
I've
therefore-
played in bands with backing tracks, and it's hard work because you've got to rely on.
Was it necessary for what you were doing as well?
Yeah, to an extent it was, but also some of the sounds that they were doing I could replicate on bass if I wanted to. But they just chose to do it to give it that extra oomph. But the thing is, you're so reliant, and also it ruined like performances because you were so conscious of. Well, the drummer was conscious; he had to be on time with the click for the backing track. But then I had to be conscious that he was on time with it, because if he wasn't on time, I'm going to miss my cue, and it's going to be a whole fucking mess. And I just thought, it's not worth it. We could just get a keyboardist and do it. I know it's an extra person, but if you're wanting that extra sound, it'd just be a little bit easier to do it that way, I guess, than relying. I prefer it to be a human being that cocks up, because they can quickly adapt. But when you rely on just one thing, that no matter what happens, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, take away that human element.
Then everything's got to
I just thought it just didn't feel right in a band either. That there was this thing going on that no one was doing. It was just there, and I'm like, it's kind of pissing me off because I'm just like, well, it doesn't, it just doesn't make sense to it.
It'd be like having a person there going, no, speed up, no, slow down.
That's it,
no,
it was, kind of was, you're like, if you're slightly out of time, everyone knew about it.
I've just described me.
Basically. But we just go with whatever you do, Matty. So if you want to have a glitch,
don't tell him.
No, but we have to go along with whatever he does.
Well,
because we're that ingrained to follow him now.
I know, but we can play.
Piper.
Like, if you were getting so technical with our music, I bet we go through like 7 or 8 time signatures within probably 2 riffs. Without even knowing.
Without even wanting
Not on purpose, no. None of it. None of it's on purpose.
Never done twice either.
Never done twice.
Twice is boring.
You might have seen us before and you think, it's different every time. And someone else collapses next time. We'll get it solved. Someone else can have a collapse.
Don't look at me.
No.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not
my turn.
So I'm not doing it. I've done it.
Well, yeah, but you used to. Oh no, don't do anything the same twice.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Don't
I don't even headbang anymore because I think, right, I'm going to have a fucking, aneurysm or a fit.
You'll have a fall.
A fall.
He's getting of an age now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Nearly 70.
And then that's it, a hip replacement, and that's my life gone downhill. So I can't afford that. No.
I don't know, but I still think within,
Especially
especially in metal, there's still a respect, isn't there?
Yeah.
musicianship.
For your musicianship and your musicians.
Well, that's what it's all, the bare bones of it is, isn't it? Let's face it.
I think, I'd say only just maybe has if a bunch of guys turned up and played along to a backing track of drums and didn't have a drummer, they still get a few knocks. But that's almost become acceptable, but not rare anymore.
Yeah.
Some people turn up without a bass player. But I still think there's a drummer and a bass player drought. You go on Facebook through your groups, it's always somebody looking for a drummer, looking for bass players.
I'm going to up my prices.
You ain't upping nothing, son.
Cost of living.
Got you
And
chained down here, you ain't
demand.
going nowhere.
That's all you do.
Well, there isn't, and for whatever reason, there's not a lot of drummers or.
Yeah, that's where you get the one drummer in 3 or 4 different bands.
Yeah, it's
Same
true.
with bass players.
Yeah.
I wonder why there is a bass player drought. Why
Don't
wouldn't
know,
there?
Dave.
Don't know.
Don't
I
know.
love bass. It's the best instrument ever. Won't change it.
If you did, it wouldn't be bass
But-
anymore.
No,
When you see people turning up without a bass player and you can clearly hear a bass line,
yeah, but
that
it sounds
gets us-
shit
that
as
gets
well
us
because
near
it's
still.
just thin sounding.
yeah.
Or you get bands where they have an 8-string guitar player and they say, I don't need a bass player. Yes, you fucking do. You do. Honestly, swear to God, you do.
Ragey Dave.
No, but it pisses me off because they're like, don't need it. Yeah, you do. It sounds thin and shit.
yeah.
Every
Bass
band,
players,
no matter
they're
what.
a dying breed. Nobody. Nah.
Yeah.
No, you're wrong,
No,
mate.
because I've seen many bands without one and they're trying to replicate it. It just sounds shit, guys.
It does.
You need a bass player.
You do.
Hire me.
No.
£500 an hour. I'll put my number down at the bottom.
500 quid an hour.
Yeah, that's not even for bass playing.
But no, there's still very much a respect for musicianship and very much derision for lack of, especially in heavy metal.
Yeah.
Particularly in heavy metal, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's strange. I don't know. Like, I guess when you think of a band, I suppose you don't go, oh, bass, that's what I want to do, or whatever, but it's the best gig, because you play, crack on,
Nobody cares.
and no one cares, which is fantastic. No one cares, no one talks to me, because they don't even know I was on stage a minute ago. I'm just one of yous, yeah. Did you see that band? They were good. Yeah, they were good. Yeah, yeah, I quite enjoyed them. You just crack on.
No,
with your pint,
we
that's it.
have seen somebody as a vocalist turn up with a backing track,
We have.
and
Again, though, karaoke, you expect that, or even in a pub setting of a tribute, or covers. You expect that. That's fair enough. But in a band setting, no. I'm saying it's unacceptable.
I'm not arguing with you, mate. I'm not arguing with
If
you.
you turned if someone turned up with an instrument and played it, and it's just them, one man band, fair play.
Yeah.
I think that's good. But if you want to be
Saying a
a
voice
singer,
isn't an instrument.
Well,
Just
yeah,
just
but-
playing devil's advocate there.
yeah, if they were singing on their own, but they're not, they're playing a backing track. Press
You
play.
just want a cappella.
Well, if that's what you're going to do,
Doesn't
yeah.
really work in the world of metal. I
It
don't
doesn't,
think.
no. Don't know, it's never been done before.
Well, maybe I could
You give it a go,
start a
Donna.
thing.
There we
Start
go.
a thing going then.
Basically, just be angry woman shouts at cloud. But okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you do that. No, but I know what you mean. And yeah, drummer drought, bass player drought. We need more money.
Can't move for bloody guitarists.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we're not hogging them. We've just got the one.
No, yeah.
Because
yeah.
I don't play nice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No. Yeah, that is true. But
Territorial.
again, I guess
Pieces
what
on
got you
guitars.
into guitar then? What made you think I'm picking that up and that I'm going to do that?
You're gonna make me say it.
I am going to say
Maybe say
Oasis, is it?
Yeah, it was listening to Oasis. No,
That
guitar.
figures.
No, in my defence, guitar-based music in about 1993 was huge. Whether it was Oasis or Blur and any of your Britpop, Stone Roses.
But why guitar? Because they have a bass player as well. So what was it? Was it the fact of just how it sounds?
It could have even
or-
just have been that my mate started learning guitar and he went, "You learn guitar too, and we can play Oasis songs." And I went,
Okay.
"Sounds like a good idea."
I like a good idea.
Sign me up for that.
Mm.
I'll have one of them.
Because I never really fancied guitar, like not really. Like I had an acoustic, but I just knew it wasn't. I don't know. I just didn't really care, and then I picked up a bass guitar, and that was it. That's all I wanted to do.
What was right for you?
Yeah, but also I guess I don't know. There is element of truth though, like there is certain personality traits that lend to certain instruments. Not all the time, but I do think there is a bit of truth to that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I do admire a bass player that being able to think underneath and around a riff rather than just following. I admire that hugely. And great bass players, they tend to very rarely actually play the same thing as the guitar players playing because they're doing their own thing and making it work. And
It's knowing when to do that and when not to do that
Yeah.
is the tricky part. But what lends, in my experience, is having that communication with the drums as well for a bassist. It's just going with the layers with that rather than the layers with the forefront, which is the singer and guitar player. It's a completely different element, and I guess if you're not a musician, or you're just listening to a song, you don't really notice, but you notice how important some parts of a bass line could be to a song. You know what I mean?
Well, you notice it. Well, you do notice it when it's not there.
Yeah. I think it's I guess it is a dying art. I just don't know. I don't figure out. It's quite an easy instrument to pick up and play. Don't get me wrong, it's a bit harder to get more intricate and doing stuff that we do, but it's not like guitar is. There's so much elements to a guitar. I'm like, fucking hell, where do you start? You know what I mean? I just
yeah, for entry level, you would think it's quite accessible.
Yeah, well, you always hear of that. A lot of bass players are just failed guitar players. They're the ones that just follow the guitar player. Yeah, they're not real bass players. You can tell. By the way they play.
Well, yeah, because they're not doing that moving around the riff. They're just following it.
Yeah, I've always had that ear though, that low end sound. I preferred, I guess. It's interesting though.
But this, to swing it right back round to what we've been talking about, is that what's something you wouldn't get with AI. Because the computer would just pick what works, not necessarily what's the best.
Yeah.
When we write the songs,
it's
we
what's
start,
different that makes it stand out.
and it takes weeks of trying new things and ironing things out and stretching bits and bending bits and moving bits to make it right. The computer will just go, well, there you go.
Yep, there you have it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Would the bass line that an AI musician put over a drum beat be the best? Would it?
What a lot of people use AI for, though, as well, from what I've seen, is just a spark of an idea.
Okay.
They'll just use it as, that's a different angle that I never thought of, or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a reference to
A reference, yeah. And then they go off, and that's how they do it. I guess we all kind of do that in a way, writing music. Like, it could be a riff, but it's based on another song or a part of something, but sometimes you don't even realise it and you've just done it, but it works and it doesn't sound exactly the same.
It could be, like we were saying earlier, a useful tool for people who don't know how to do it themselves.
Yeah.
So if you've got a filmmaker and needs a bit of music, doesn't know how to describe it, whatever, or afford. If you can do your homework to start and then go to a musician, I want something like this. A bit like with artwork. I mean, I struggle to draw breath, never mind photographs. So for having some AI artist to go to spark ideas,
Yeah.
but it's how you then use it and adapt it.
And adapt it, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But you're right, and again, if you don't know people or know a certain way of life, which music is, let's face it, you don't have access to certain things.
Yeah, it's a good tool to fall back on for that if you are stuck with that. Yeah, it's true. It is true. It's just.
I mean, not that we did. But you look at our music video. I sat and watched God knows how many music videos to try and find bits and bobs and whatever.
Just a spark of something that you know.
If I could put our song into a computer program and go come up with a video for that, and it does, and then all we've got to do is replicate it live action. But that's because we don't know filmmakers.
No.
If we had friends that were videographers and filmmakers, we'd talk to them and go through them.
On board,
get
Yeah,
them
and
on
you're
board.
sharing your art together, aren't you?
And I think some, musicians especially that know people like that are great artists, great videographers and photographers and stuff, are so lucky.
Yeah.
Because when you come from pokey little backwater towns like we do and you ain't got a lot of them, you're restricted.
Yeah.
So in some ways your AI as a reference tool, as a jumping off point, can come in handy.
Right. Your next music video, AI.
Alright.
I'll do that. Yeah.
But no, if you were to then just get a computer program to make music, you bang out an album claiming it's yourself.
No.
We'll just say no to that.
It's a no.
Not for me.
No. That is true. Yeah. Well, I think it's been a good
So
discussion.
so in conclusion, it's good and bad.
Depends how you use it.
Well, that's it. Yeah. Tool. It should be.
I'm
used as
still
a
on the
tool.
fence with the whole thing, not in a musicality way,
man.
but just the whole thing in itself. I'm not a fan of, but I'm just a villager who likes things to stay as they are. Don't like change.
Just because you can do it doesn't mean.
Yeah. I just don't want to be total recalled. I don't want my eyes popping out of my head because I might have to go to Mars. Or have a baby come out of my stomach. I don't want it.
Have 3 tits.
Open your mind. That's it. Or Robocop killing me. I don't want that either.
No, you don't want that.
No, or Terminator coming after me. I don't want it.
Don't want that.
No.
Naked Arnie
might get
after
it
me.
in
I don't want it. Yeah, you might, but I don't.
Not at the age he is now.
Yeah, not the age now.
Oh no, he's well saggy, isn't he?
He's gonna come after you now.
Shit.
He is. Terminator you.
Oh, that's it. He doesn't feel fear or remorse,
That's it.
and will absolutely not stop ever
Yeah.
until he's told me off.
Told you. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, so we're all on the fence with AI then.
Pretty much so.
I think it's
Nick
like
loves AI.
No,
He's
I
the
don't-
AI man.
fucking love
He
it.
loves
But again, it's how you use it,
Mhm.
and it's happening,
It's happening.
whether we like
We're
it or
fucked.
not. I always go back to both photographers who have had to deal with the likes of your Photoshop and
Yeah.
stuff for God knows how many years,
That's it.
and the good
But then
ones.
that's editing tools rather than AI itself.
Well, it is, but
So
it's
it's
still
not- it's
something
not-
that's
Pictures getting created out of the ether.
no,
whereas
but
they
it's
will be now.
still. They were. I would say they were hit hardest first with the advances in digital technology,
Yeah.
and they've got. You know, even your cameras have got all your presets, like I say, and then the Photoshop and all that, but the good ones adapted to themselves. They took that and made everything better.
Well, that's what you've got to do as a musician, an artist, in any form. Is you have to adapt what's happening around you, don't you? In order to stay relevant or successful in any kind of game. But I don't know. It's a world that's unknown for me. And it's a world that could easily get out of our hands.
Yeah.
Welcome to old age, Dave.
We're living in the future, mate.
Become
That's
the
what it
change
is.
that's happening around us.
Right.
Don't accept the change.
Yeah, but
as
what
it's
happens
just
if you have
happening.
got a baby coming out of your chest?
Become the
just become
change.
that. Or just
You've
Be-
been reading a book.
Be the change.
You've been reading like a book of quotes.
No.
Yeah, it's on
No,
his
he's got-
toilet roll.
I was going to say he's got this toilet roll.
Yeah,
and
part of
and
it.
you quote per, and he said
I've been
slice.
AI in inspirational quotes.
Yeah. We have people at work who do that. They use AI for inspirational quotes. I'm like, what?
So you could be
Absolute
out of a job.
idiots. That's what.
I know, well, this is the worry,
That's
innit?
Standards.
I'll be out of a job, everyone.
So then it would be AIBTEE.
Yo.
No laughing matter.
No, it's no laughing matter.
No, but-
It's soup.
Instead of concentrating on artificial intelligence, can we have some actual
I was
intelligence?
going to say that. Knew that's
There's
where it
not
was going.
much. There's not much intelligence left, I'm afraid, Matthew.
Not in this
No.
room, pal.
No. That's just down to age and forgetfulness, I think, more than
Oh,
anything.
absolutely. And senility.
As it says on my mug at home, that real stupidity beats artificial intelligence every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Yeah. All right then. Yeah. Well, we'll leave it on that then, shall
I'll
we?
leave it on that. Feel free to discuss
Leave it on
amongst
what?
yourselves.
Yeah. Discuss it. Comment. Whatever. Angry emoji it if you want.
Oh, God, yeah.
And if you see Dave in the street, please feel free to approach him and carry on this discussion. He'd love that.
I'm a bass player. Don't do it.
Yeah.
And if you happen to be online and looking at this and fancy a new T-shirt, you could get the new Bloodyard T-shirt.
Happy emojis.
It should have
Smiley
should have
emojis
been by
only.
now seen the post about on our Bandcamp store. So head there, bloodyard.bandcamp.com or bandcamp.bloodyard.com. Either one,
Never
it's on the
remember.
posts. And treat yourself.
Spend
Treat
money.
yourself.
Spend it.
Loads on there now.
Is there?
Mhm.
I haven't been on.
All the album pre-order stuff's up.
Yep.
Oh.
So pre-order the album,
Good to
get a
go, baby.
T-shirt,
That's
get
it.
this T-shirt, get the album T-shirt, get all the T-shirts.
Get all the T-shirts. Get the one with Steve Bogman on it.
Less than a month to go now.
Less than a month to go. Get your pre-order in so you don't miss out.
Buy it,
And
Bogman.
like, subscribe, and don't forget hit the notification button so you don't miss out. And thank you for watching, listening, and putting up with us.
Thank you.
Have a good life.
Bye.
Until next time.
See you later.